Hello everybody, Curious Corduroy here, and today I have some Call of Duty 4 for you guys. And I was actually going to try and do this commentary the other day, which was yesterday, but I couldn't. If you guys watched my last video, then you guys know that I got all 4 of my wisdom teeth removed, and I've been on painkillers for the last 3 days. So the painkillers, they kind of took their toll on me yesterday especially. They make you feel, well, they make me personally feel really floaty and calm and relaxed and somewhat drowsy to the point where I could fall asleep at any minute. But I tried sitting down yesterday and doing the commentary, and I literally tried probably about 10 times to do a solid commentary, and I just couldn't do it because I couldn't keep the thoughts in my head straight in a line flowing together. I was just all over the place and on a fritz, and I couldn't think and get my coherent thoughts out, and it was just a mess. So I was like, you know what, I gotta stop and do this another day because this commentary is not going to come out the way that I want it to. So that was that. I got my 4 wisdom teeth removed. I talked a little bit about that in the last commentary, but the past couple of days I've been on what I call the wisdom teeth diet, where I eat nothing but smooth, soft foods. So for 2 days in a row, I had nothing but chocolate pudding for breakfast, and I snacked on cold milkshakes because that kind of, and it was the only time I could actually get away with saying, hey, leave me alone, I need to eat chocolate pudding, I need to eat a cold milkshake, because it was actually helping soothe the gums. And over the period of a couple of days, I was actually able to start drinking water again and eat more than just pudding. I got to eat some mashed potatoes and gravy, and now I'm working my way up to eating soups, which is nice. Anything cream of, like cream of mushroom or cream of chicken, I can eat because it's smooth and there's no bits I have to worry about getting stuck in the back of my teeth, where my wisdom teeth used to be. There's just 2 sockets there now, so I got to be very careful. And I won't be able to eat any hard, good foods for probably about a week. So I have a couple days left before that's gone and done with. But yeah, that's been my diet the last couple days. Nothing but soft mashed potatoes, pudding, the occasional applesauce, and cream of whatever soup insert here. But the main thing that I wanted to talk about for this video actually was the idea of Microsoft and Sony possibly joining forces together to do their own console. And the reason why I bring that up is because about a week ago on Kotaku there was an article brought up saying something like why it just makes sense for Sony and Microsoft to come together and do their next console with each other. And during E3, the day that Nintendo held their press conference and they announced the Wii U, there was rumors going around that Microsoft and Sony were actually in negotiations with each other to possibly create a console together. And that spun a whole bunch of rumors out. But the big rumor, well, the big thing fueling the fire for the rumor was the fact that 2 domain names were actually bought and registered and I guess trademarked. The domains were Microsoft-Sony.com and Sony-Microsoft.com, which prompted a lot of people to be like, hey, there's a possibility that these 2 juggernauts of companies are going to join forces and make a console together. I think that was actually shot down though. Somebody from Microsoft, a representative, said that it was just a defensive. Wow, I still have remnants of the painkillers left in my system apparently. It was just a defensive domain name registry. And in English, what they mean is they're only buying those domains just to stop other people from buying them to start up crazy stuff. But the conspiracy theorist inside of me is kind of like, okay, that makes sense, but why would you guys wait all of a sudden until 2011 to decide to register those 2 domains, Microsoft Sony and Sony Microsoft? You guys got to be planning something, right? And there's other rumors flying around saying that perhaps it's part of a marketing campaign that Microsoft's going to do, like PC versus Mac, where they compare the Xbox with possibly the next PlayStation or PlayStation 3. But thinking about that and then reading the article, I pray to God that this is not a rumor and that it's true, because just imagine if Microsoft and Sony actually teamed up and not only just made a console together but made a company together. You know, Sony's makes great, fantastic hardware. They're starting to really come out with some really good killer apps for their games over the for their systems over the past couple of years. Microsoft is just completely dominant when it comes to online play and social media-esque features for Xbox Live. And Xbox Live is the definitive online, platformer. I wouldn't say just for games in general, but mostly for consoles. But I guess you could say games in general as well. But the idea of them coming together just excites me. When I first saw that article, I was like, wow, I'm really excited. I hope this is true, because as a gamer, this is a win-win situation. Ever since I was a little kid, I remember being like, why don't all these companies just come together and make a console, one unifying console for everybody to play? Just imagine being able to buy a system that was created by Microsoft, by Sony, by Nintendo, that had games like Uncharted, that had games like Gears of War, that had games like Mario, all on one console, with a great online experience, great controls, great controllers, great systems, great hardware. And that could actually possibly be a possibility now with the whole Microsoft Sony thing. Even if they're saying it's a merger, even if they're saying that it's a defensive domain name registry, I find that hard to believe. Like I said before, why would you guys just now decide to, hey, let's buy these two domains in case somebody else wants to use them? There's got to be something more to buying those domain names. There's just got to be. It doesn't really make much sense. Why wait so long to do that? And now we could possibly next year would be really nice at the next E3 if Microsoft and Sony announced, hey, we're gonna make a console together. Get excited. And then that would be kind of cool if Nintendo and Apple like joined forces to make a console together, which would be kind of weird. But I think it'd be fair if it was Microsoft and Sony against Nintendo, because although Microsoft and Sony are very popular, Nintendo is a juggernaut. They can do what they want. They can make the consoles and games they want, and they're gonna sell millions upon millions upon millions of software and hardware. And people like Nintendo, people know Nintendo, so I think it'd be a very fair matchup. But I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about the possibility of Microsoft and Sony joining forces to make a console. You call it like a XStation or a PlayBox or something like that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Subscribe, check out the other videos on the channel. And I'm Curious Corduroy. I will talk to you guys later, and I'm probably going to go take one more painkiller and then try and get some food in my belly. So I'll talk to you guys later.